Good evening, everyone, from beautiful Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Welcome to Phillies baseball. And interleague play back with us, the Phils and the front-running Baltimore Orioles, leaders of the American League East. Harry Callis along with Rich Ashburn and Chris Wheeler. And Wheels, Baltimore still has the best record in the American League, but they have been struggling a little bit lately.
Yeah, they get off to a great start, Harry, but, you just don't keep that up. For teams that win 120, 130 games, you're going to have your little lulls in the course of the year, and they're having one right now. They're not having just an okay June. They're not hitting and scoring runs, and they've lost 5 out of their last 7 out of 11. They got Barroa to try to give him some offense from the right side. He had a tough start yesterday in his debut. Rafael Palmeiro, one of the best in the league, is not hitting. But one thing this team has, and what will keep you going in the course of the year, is great pitching. They have great starting pitching, especially. And Mike Mussina, who will go for his 100th win against the Phillies tonight, is one of the best. And he hasn't lost a game here in Baltimore this year.
And, Whitey, the Phillies sent Pete Incaviglia and Todd Zeile to these Orioles. Inky's still here. Zeile is gone. But in return, the Phillies got a couple of young pitchers, Calvin Maduro, Garrett Stevenson, both of whom are going to pitch in this series.
Yeah, Maduro tonight and Stevenson tomorrow. I got a scouting report from Davey Johnson, the Orioles manager, on Maduro. He didn't say much about his pitching, but he did say he was a great young man, which he is. We all know that, and he does have something working for him tonight. That's a couple things, really. Orioles are in a little hitting slump. Might help him. And you always like to show the team that traded you can still play or you can still pitch or whatever you're doing. And I think Calvin's kind of looking forward to this tonight. I don't know how he'll do.
We will find out. It'll be 22-year-old Calvin Maduro going for the Phillies. Mike Mussina goes for Baltimore. Starting lineups for you right after these messages.
Phillies baseball is being brought to you in part by Mellon PSFS. It's where you're going. By your local Chevrolet Geo dealers. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield. The health insurance companies you can lean on.
Well, they're pouring in here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. A lot of them from Philadelphia. We've got quite a contingent of Phillies fans. This game is sold out. On a very pleasant evening here. The Phils and the Baltimore Orioles interleague play. The Phillies have played games here before, exhibition league games, but not a regular season game, and they'll be facing a tough customer tonight in Mike Mussina. Terry Francona's starting lineup will have Ricky Otero in center field leading off. Mickey Morandini second base, bats second. Darren Dalton will be the DH. He'll hit third. Scott Rowland, third baseman, bats fourth. Rico Brogna at first base, hitting fifth. Wright Jeffries, left fielder, bats sixth. Derek May in right field, hitting seventh. Mike Lieberthal, the catcher, bats eighth. Kevin Stocker, the shortstop, hitting ninth. That lineup is facing Mike Mussina.
Well, he's the Orioles' best, and he's having that kind of a year. Almost had a no-hitter here not that long ago. I think he tipped that into the ninth inning, if I recall.
He took one into the ninth against Cleveland, broken up by Sandy Alomar. He had a perfect game in the ninth, and then his most recent outing, he went 7 no-hit innings. So he's flirted with 2 of them this year. Defensively behind Mussina, Cal Ripken at third, Mike Bordick at shortstop, Roberto Alomar at second, Rafael Palmeiro at first, Lenny Webster catching, P.J. Surhoff in left, Brady Anderson in center, and Jeffrey Hammonds in right. And Ricky Otero will lead it off, hitting at .231. Has a 7-game hitting streak, hitting .387 in the last 7 games. Batting left against Mussina. Missing a little bit high, 1 ball and no strikes to Otero. American League umpires, of course, tonight in the American League Park. Dale Ford working the plate. Mike Riley at first, Larry Young at second, and Brian O'Nora at third. That's foul behind the Phillies dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ricky Otero. Oriole Park at Camden Yards is a is a hitter's park. The ball really carries the left field. See a lot of left-hand hitters hit opposite field home runs here. The right field, you got to get it over that scoreboard. They're not waiting around for a walk from Mussina because he just does not walk very many at all. There you see the scoreboard. In right field, it's just 318 down the line, but you got to clear that scoreboard. Throws his bat at the ball, and Palmeiro makes the play. So Otero is retired. One down, that'll bring on Mickey Morandini. Morandini hitting at .311. He has a 9-game hitting streak, and he looks at a strike.
He looked at a ball, Harry. It's called a strike. I mean, that ball was on the ground. He's going to give him those pitches. It's going to be a long night.
Fly ball center field. Brady Anderson hardly has to move. He puts it away, and that's 2 down. Opponents hitting just .224 against Mussina. That is 5th best in the American League. He's also 5th in the league in strikeouts with 99. Brings on the DH Darren Dalton Dutch hitting at .283.
Correction. Darren Dalton is a designated hitter.
1 ball and no strikes to Darren Dalton. 1-1. Mussina has struck out 99, walked just 24 in his 109 1/3 innings pitched. 28-year-old out of Montoursville, Pennsylvania. Has a degree in economics from Stanford University. Popped him up in the air, third base side. Cal Ripken squeezes. A 1-2-3 inning for Mussina. No runs, hits, errors, and none left after 1/2 fills nothing. Baltimore coming to bat. Bottom half of the first inning here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Davy Johnson starting lineup for Baltimore. Brady Anderson center field leads off. Roberto Alomar at second base bats second. Geronimo Barroa will be the DH. He'll hit third. Rafael Palmeiro at first base bats fourth. Cal Ripken, third baseman, hitting fifth. B.J. Surhoff, the left fielder, hits sixth. Jeffrey Hammonds in right field hitting seventh. Lenny Webster catches batting eighth. Mike Bordick, the shortstop, will hit ninth. That lineup facing Calvin Maduro.
Well, Calvin will have his work cut out for him. Even though this lineup isn't hitting, he probably has his work cut out for him because of who he's pitching against. Mike Mussina. See his record there, 3-6. ERA is too high.
Too many walks.
Too many walks.
As has been the case with the Phillies pitching staff, just about top to bottom. Phillies have issued the most walks in the National League. Defensively, Scott Rowland at third, Kevin Stocker shortstop, Mickey Morandini second, Rico Brogna at first. Mike Lieberthal catching. The outfield has Greg Jeffries in left, Ricky Otero in center, and Derek May in right. Brady Anderson hitting at .310 will lead it off. Anderson, who came over from the Boston Red Sox along with Kurt Schilling in the deal that sent Mike Boniger to Boston. Coming off a monster year in which he hit 50 home runs.
Not nearly as many this year.
Rico Brogna to Maduro covering in time to get Brady Anderson for out number one. Toronto's just swept Baltimore a 4-game series. You see what some of their key hitters did in that series. Brady hit just 176. Rafael Palmeiro 1 for 14. Cal Ripken 188 and B.J. Surhoff 167 in that 4-game sweep by Toronto.
Toronto has some hard throwers on that staff.
Yeah, they do, but I mean, there were people like Robert Person and Woody Williams were beating Baltimore. And Guzman was just off the disabled list, so outside of Roger Clemens, you know, it's not four guys you figure are going to shut you down.
Henson throws hard.
But Hankin didn't pitch in the series.
You're right, he didn't. They had a kid that came in relief yesterday, Toronto, and they say he was throwing 95, 97 miles an hour.
1-2 to Roberto Alomar, who's hitting at .306. He's been a lot better hitter left-handed than right. Bounces the ball to Stocker at shortstop. 2 quick outs for Maduro here in the first inning. And it'll bring up the DH Geronimo Baroa just over from Oakland. Baroa hit .290 with 36 home runs last year, knocked in 106. And this year he had 16 home runs with 42 RBIs. He's been a good DH for the Oakland A's. Came over here for Jimmy Haynes, a pitcher.
He had a rough night last night. He's 0 for 5 with 3 Ks.
Right. That was his debut. 1 ball and 1 strike to Geronimo Baroa. Curveball comes in high. It's 2-1. Line to left field, but Jeffries there puts it away, and that will retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. After 1, it's a 0-0 game. Mike Bordick, the shortstop, leads it off for Baltimore. They signed him as a free agent this past winter. Played at Oakland last year. Good defensive shortstop. Brought in Bordick and moved Cal Ripken to third base. Nothing game. Bottom half of the 3rd inning. One ball and no strikes to Bordick. High again, ball 2, 2-0. The outside corner. 2-1 to Mike Bordick. He went after a low pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right back at Calvin Maduro. Throws out Bordick. 1 down. That'll bring on Brady Anderson, the top of the order. Now the Phillies are home beginning on Thursday, and right after the game Thursday and Saturday, the 7:05 games with the Cubs, we have the gigantic aerial fireworks display. Always a fan favorite. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Get your tickets by stopping by the Center City ticket office at Bell and PSFS Broad and Chestnut Streets, or call 215-463-1000. When you call that number, be sure to ask about our daily special. 1 ball and no strikes to Anderson. He grounded out. Bronya to Maduro his first time up. The curveball comes in high. It's 2-0. The 2-0 off-speed pitch fooled him. 2 balls and a strike.
Maduro has a pretty good changeup. when he's getting it, near the strike zone.
Hit him. And Brady Anderson with a pitch. Didn't want to do that. Anderson will attempt to steal some bases too. He's stolen 11 this year.
Right in the back. He didn't have a chance to get out of the way of that. And right almost on the number after he turned. They say every pitch is supposed to have a purpose that a pitcher throws. I don't know what purpose that would have been.
Roberto Alomar grounded out his first time up. One strike to Alomar. One ball and one strike. Anderson's been hit by a pitch 10 times now. He's tied for the American League lead in being plunked by a pitch. Blocked by Lieberthal. Two and one. We're in the bottom of the third of a 0-0 game.
Be a good hit and run pitch for the Orioles. You have a good hitter and a good base runner. Usually you'll hit and run when you have a bad hitter and a bad base runner, but wouldn't be a bad situation.
High with it. 3-1. Going this time, and he lines a foul down the left field side. Full count to Alomar.
Yeah, that's not a hit and run. It's kind of a run and hit, and the hitter invariably goes after ball four, which Alomar did there. It was high and outside. He hit it good, but it was way out of the strike zone. He reaches out and up. Did a good job of leveling off on that high pitch, but he couldn't hit it fair.
Anderson goes again. Again, it's foul down the left field side. Still 3-2 to Roberto Alomar.
Nobody covered on that, Anderson running toward second. I guess they think that, well, Alomar will get Wood on the ball, so both the second baseman and shortstop staying home. I don't think they're going to get a strikeout double play, that's for sure.
He goes again. It's a base hit to left field. Anderson heading for third. And the Orioles have runners at first and third. First hit given up by Maduro.
Well, they kept trying it. Time he got good wood on it and hit it past Stocker.
Stocker was going over to cover. So he hit it right to the spot vacated by Stocker, and the batter will be Geronimo Berroa. Berroa, the DH, lined out to left his first time up.
You kind of wonder why Stocker would be covering on that play when the couple 3 pitches before that he hit him way foul down the left field side.
Baltimore runners first and third with 1 out. 1 ball and no strikes to Berroa. balls and a strike to Baroa.
Doesn't look like Maduro's going to give in to him. He's throwing, that was a 2-0 change, I believe. Flirted with the outside corner.
High. 3-1.
Taking a little hole here for himself.
Upcorn, of course, carried a no-hitter into the 6th inning and to be taken out because of wildness. So that hit by Roberto Alomar, the first hit off the Phillies starter in the last 2 games. Full count here to Geronimo Baroa. Base hit, center field. Alomar will go to third. Brady Anderson scores. Baltimore takes a 1-0 lead on the RBI single by Geronimo Baroa.
He threw him another off-speed pitch, hit it right off the end of the bat. That was a changeup. Got enough wood on it, though. Almost threw his bat at it. Well, the Orioles with a run in and first and third. Again, 1 out.
Rafael Palmeiro flied out to center his first time up, will be the batter. Nothing to Palmeiro. This is what Calvin does too much of. He's pitching behind hitters 2-0 frequently, and that is a tough way to pitch. Jerks a foul, right field side, 2-1 to Palmeiro.
I think the Cubs got rid of Palmeiro because he couldn't hit the long ball. They thought he was a kind of a spray hitter, a singles hitter. And they already had Mark Grace in the organization.
Yeah, but you know who those Cubbies got for Palmeiro. Scott Rowland. Guard, the officer down the third baseline, almost got in his way. Rowland did not make the play. Watch Rowland going. Now here's this guard out of the way. I guess he did, but
a fan got in there involved in there too. He might have made that catch.
Fan with a Phillies cap.
And the runner on third tagged up too after that play, whether he made the catch or not.
Full count. Fouled it back. You remember who the Cubs got for Rafael Palmeiro? The deal that sent Palmeiro to Texas. I believe it was the Pooh, wasn't it? Mitch Williams.
And that started that whole sequence, huh?
Jerks another foul, still 3-2. He went from the Cubs to Texas with Drew Hall and Jamie Moyer for Paul Kilgus, Mitchie Pooh, and Steve Wilson, along with Curtis Wilkerson. just keeps fouling them off. Still 3-2 to Rafael Palmeiro.
Mets tried his comeback this year, but he
2-2, excuse me.
failed.
Yeah, he pitched for a while at Kansas City. Full count. It's a lot of pitches he's throwing this inning. Brian O'Nora with the no swing sign. 31 pitches he's thrown this inning alone. Runners at first and third, a run in, 1 out.
That was after Galen Cisco had that big meeting with him.
So the bases are loaded for Mr. Ripken. Third walk given up by Maduro. And Galen Cisco will log some more miles toward that mound. Ripken was called out on strikes his first time up.
I don't know what Galen keeps saying to those pitchers.
Whitey, I don't know. He's got to be running out of words, I would think. Let's try to throw strikes.
It's in a strike here and there.
Yeah.
A lot of pitches, 64, and
not
only in the third inning.
And not a good strike balls ratio either. 33 strikes and 31 balls. One ball and no strikes. One of the reasons Calvin has to try to spot his fastball is it's not all that hard. 85, 86. High towering fly to left. Jeffries doesn't see it, and it's out of here. Grand slam home run. Al Ripken. Well, that's what I mean about the ball carrying to left field here. That ball looked like a high pop fly, but here at Camden Yards, it flies out to left. A slam for Ripken, and it is now 5-0 Orioles.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a can of corn when he hit it. Jeffries was fighting it all the way. I guess he didn't pick it up.
See it.
See, now look at this ball. This hit right straight up in the air, it looks like. I think the fan in the first or second row out there has finally got it. But a lot of that damage was self-inflicted. There were hit batsmen who walked in there.
1 ball and no strikes to Surhoff. 1-1.
I say this park is a bandbox for hitters.
Yeah, especially the left. You'll see a lot of left-hand hitters hit opposite field home runs here. Two balls and 2 strikes to B.J. Surhoff. Well, the Orioles have just 3 hits, but 5 runs and lead at 5-0 here in the third.
Well, that's what they did yesterday in Atlanta. They didn't get any hits, but they got a lot of runs.
Oddly, 3 of their 7 hits in Atlanta came in the 8th inning when they didn't score against Jerry Spradlin. They had all 6 of their runs yesterday on 4 hits. Full count to B.J. Surhoff. That's base on balls number 4. 4 walks and a hit batsman.
First 2 walks didn't hurt him. Well, here's Jeffrey. You see Jeffrey's there. He's spreading. There's the arm spread. Now he picks it up, but he can't get up there. That just went over the fence. Cal Ripken watching it all the way.
Brings up Jeffrey Hammonds. Hammonds hitting at .275, and Phillies get bullpen activity. Reggie Harris is throwing in the Phil's bullpen. Two balls and no strikes. Now Scott Rowland is going to come in and talk to Maduro. Whipped but foul. Jeffrey Hammonds, 26 years old. The Orioles have been waiting for him to be the kind of player they think this first-round pick should be. He's got power. He's got speed. Nice grab by Rowland. Throws him out. What a fine play by Rowland for out number 2 in the inning. Surhoff moves up to second. And it'll bring up Lenny Webster as the Orioles have batted around.
And Scott, bad hand and all, stopped an extra base hit there.
Lenny Webster grounded out to Rowland, his first time up. One strike to Webster. Five across for the Orioles here in the third. They lead at 5-0. Base hit right field. Derek May comes up throwing, but not a good throw. Coming in to score is B.J. Surhoff, and it's now 6-0 Baltimore. Galen Cisco on the bullpen phone.
Well, I don't want to take him out with 2 outs now because he's he doesn't bat. They don't bat here in the American League. Doesn't make any difference. But nice pickup out there, but the throw was down and
3 hopper.
Too many bounces.
4 hopper. Brings on Mike Bordick, who grounded back to the mound his first time up. Should get out of the inning here. Stocker to Morandini, and that will retire the side, but not before Baltimore puts 6 on the board. 4 hits, including a slam by Ripken. No errors, 1 left. Chris Wheeler joins Rich Ashburn in the 4th inning at the end of 3, 6-0 Baltimore.
Baseball cap day at the ballpark Sunday, July 6th, the 1:35 start with the Cubs special baseball cap featuring the Phillies P with a star in it. A special cap that will be worn by the Phillies from July 3rd through July 6th as part of their official uniform. This great item is for fans 14 and under and comes compliments of Modell Sporting Goods. Make sure you make plans to come out and celebrate. Order tickets easily by phone, and don't forget to inquire about the daily special. Or you can stop by the Vet Stadium ticket office. Scott Rowland leads it off here in the fourth. Chris Wheeler with us. Rowland, Bronya, Jeffries. Phillies need runs. They trail 6-0.
Well, they had a shot at Mussina last inning, didn't get anything, and then they have the big 6-run inning.
Rowland walked his first time up. It's a ball and a strike on Scott Rowland, hitting at .268.
Orioles have scored 5 runs in 4 prior games to tonight, and they got 6 in that inning.
Laid off the low pitch. 2-1 the count.
Mussina throws fastball, great changeup and knuckle curve, and you know he has 3 put-em-away pitches.
Ball's hit well. Right center field. Bottom of the fence. Rowland's going to get 3 out of this. John Vukovich
Took a big turn at third, and Alomar saw that, threw in behind him, and almost got him. But John Vukovich had him held the whole way. Scott's just so aggressive that he came around third hard and slipped. Here's Mussina going away with a high fastball, and Rowland hits it off the base of the wall out in deep right center field. Jeffrey Hammonds has to run it down. And then Alomar, with that real strong arm of his, saw what had happened at third, and he did not hesitate and almost got him.
Leadoff triple. Rico Bronya, the batter, struck out his first time up. That was a close play. Up in the air, center field. Should be deep enough to score the run. Bronya runs well. Rowland runs well. Bronya gets the sacrifice fly and the run batted in. The Phillies are on the board. Orioles lead 6-1. One out for Greg Jeffries, who struck out his first time up.
Did Jeffries see that ball Ripken hit?
No.
Because he didn't get to the wall right away.
He picked it up late.
Yeah, because if he gets to the wall, you catch that ball, because it's really short out there. There's dimensions.
Yeah, it just barely went over, too.
Well, it hit the top, didn't it?
Well, I couldn't tell. There was a fan in there at the first row. Ball 1 to Jeffries. Ball 2 to Jeffries. .256. Easy play for Bordick.
Here's the grand slam we were just talking about. Now, see, he doesn't see it. Right now, all of a sudden, he does see it, but now it's too late. If he'd have gotten to the wall right away, then he has a chance to leap and catch it. But watch what happens. Hits right on top of the wall, is what we thought, and then bounce back up into the crowd. So, you know, that's one of those things. If he sees it right away, you get back to the wall, you have a chance to catch it, and he didn't see it.
Derek May, the batter, grounded out his first time up. Yeah, he did get up there, but maybe he could have gotten up there a little quicker.
Yeah, because he didn't get to the wall in time.
Popped him up. Brady Anderson. That'll retire the side. The Phillies do score a run on 1 hit. Nobody left. Baltimore bats in the fourth. They lead 6-1. It's
time now for the Chevrolet game summary. Cal Ripken with a grand slam home run in the third inning, the 7th of his great career. Mike Mussina with the strikeouts when he's really needed them tonight, looking for his 100th career win. Scott Rowland has a triple, scored the Phillies' only run. Geronimo Barroa, his first hit, an RBI single. That's his first hit as an Oriole. Of course, it was a broken bat hit. And Calvin Maduro, since the third inning, pitched pretty well. Retired 10 out of the last batters he faced, but he will now leave the ball game as Reggie Harris will come on to start the 7th inning for the Phils.
So Reggie Harris coming in. Harris is appearing in his 35th game. No wins, 3 losses, a 4.93 ERA. 38 in the third innings, 32 hits, 21 runs, 31 strikeouts, and once again, too many walks, 33 walks. Opponents are only hitting .227 against him, but what the Phillies staff has to try to start doing is throwing strikes. Phillies have out-hit, for example, the Orioles in this game, 5-4, losing 6-1. In that one inning, when the Orioles got their 6th, Calvin Maduro walked 2 and hit a batsman. And they all scored. I'm sure that Galen Cisco impresses that upon his pitching staff.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not something that's any mystery, you know, where you say, well, why do they keep walking so many guys? Well, they don't try to walk people; they just walk people. Sometimes it's just the type of pitcher that you happen to walk too many batters.
Maduro, after 6 innings, charged with 6 runs on just 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, but 5 walks and a hit batsman. Alomar fouls it off. Roberto is 1 for 3. He's grounded out, singled and grounded out. Well, looks like Montreal finally got Pedro Martinez enough runs. They got him 2. Usually, lately they've been getting Pedro 1 and none. They got him 2, and he beat Toronto 2-1.
Won the Battle of Canada tonight at Skydome.
Well, they just haven't scored for him at all. They didn't have a whole lot of margin for error tonight either, winning 2-1.
2 in the whole lot. They've got great pitching in the month of June, have the Montreal Expos. That game tonight, they had 7 shutouts in the month.
Foul backing out of play. Pedro went into that game with a 1.58 ERA.
Pretty late in the year to have a 1.58 ERA, which will go down tonight if maybe that run was unearned. Who knows?
Fouls another one off.
You're talking maybe an Atlanta pitcher not winning the Cy Young Award when you hear those kind of numbers. It's been a while.
Now the Atlanta pitching staff has won Cy Young since '91. Maddox in '92 started his 4 consecutive. That was with the Cubs, however. He wasn't pitching for Atlanta, but it was Maddox. Glavine in '91, Maddox 4 straight years, and Smoltz last year.
You never rule those guys out to win one, but you know.
Glavine's locked in a tough one at Yankee Stadium. They are 0-0, the Yankees and Atlanta. That's just poked past the diving Scott Rowland. Alomar has his 2nd hit.
Question was, the people might sit and think, well, who won a Cy Young Award before all those guys? Well, it was Doug Drabek of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and that seems like a long time ago.
It does, yeah.
Here's Alomar with some nice hitting. This guy's a great hitter. I mean, Reggie Harris throws him a good pitch, and he smokes it by Rowland down the third baseline. Scott Rowland has got very, very good at that play to his right. But that was hit too hard.
Geronimo Barroa has lined to left, singled and grounded out.
This guy was in the National League and was an extra man for 3 teams, and he went over to the American League and really found himself, and now he's a flat-out bombardier. I mean, he's a home run hitter.
Who was he with?
He was with Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Florida.
Oh.
And we saw him with Atlanta. He played a little bit for him, but he was an extra man.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't see him much. But he really came into his own when he went to the Oakland Athletics a few years ago.
Hit 36 homers last year and knocked in 106.
So when he started doing that, I thought that can't be the same guy we used to watch. It is. And you can see how he's waggling that bat. I mean, he wants to hit the fastball.
Big jump. Lieberthal's throw is strong, but a tremendous jump by Alomar, and he steals second. His 6th stolen base. He's only been thrown out once.
Terry said he got a great jump, plus it was a slider, which is a tougher pitch for a catcher to handle and is slower getting to him. Here's Reggie Harris, lifts that leg up, and you can run on him, and Alomar on a straight steal. And the pitch, a breaking ball away, and Lieberthal's throw is strong, but not in time.
Yeah, Lieberthal made a good throw. It just... Now, Lieberthal is appealing the last pitch, saying that Baroa swung, but Mike Riley says no, it's 2-0. With the presence of Baroa, I guess that means that our buddy the Inkman might have limited playing time here now. Beating Gavilia.
We'll find out for sure tomorrow night, I guess, when the left-hander pitches. If he doesn't play against a left-hander, then it's... Well, he hasn't started much anyway, looking at their notes tonight. He has not played a whole lot lately.
Popped him up, first base side, Rico Bronia. And foul ground makes the play, 1 down. Now the Phillies are home Thursday through Sunday against those Chicago Cubs. Sammy Sosa and company will be in. Don't forget, after the games Thursday and Saturday at 7:05, gigantic aerial fireworks display, compliments of Mellon PSFS. Friday the 4th of July at 1:05, fans 14 and under allowed on the field to run the bases. And Sunday at 1:35, we have a Modell Sporting Goods Independence Day cap. For all youngsters, order your tickets by calling 215-463-1000. Rafael Palmeiro is flied out, walked, and flied out. 1-0 to Palmeiro.
We'll probably be shocked to hear they just completed a rain delay in Cincinnati.
How about that?
This year, they have had more rain. We went through it there a couple times.
Yeah, we went through it a couple times. Yesterday's game didn't finish until, I think, around 9 o'clock or later.
Right.
A 12-inning game with St. Louis, 2 long rain delays. Line drive, just foul.
Yeah, they've got a lot of problems out there with rain, and it's another one tonight. Now, Palmeiro is in an offer. And when you're in an offer, you think sooner or later you're going to hit a chalk line or something will go right for you, and he thinks he has a double here, and it's really close. Oh, and he just misses one.
Now he's 0 for 15 right now.
Guy's average only 256 coming into the game. That's really low for him at any time. Great hitter.
Ball on the strike to Rafael Palmeiro. Laid off the splitter, 2-1. Lieberthal out to talk to Reggie Harris. The Mets were embarrassed tonight at Detroit. That's over now, mercifully for the Mets. 14-0 Tigers.
Temple's Bobby Higginson hit 3 homers in that game.
Good for Bobby. Bobby's a good guy.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Justin Thompson must be a pretty good pitcher. We might see him when we play those Tigers.
He's a guy that strikes out Griffey all the time.
Yeah.
There it is. They hit 6 of them, 3 by Higginson. Mark Clark, the starter for the Mets, and that will mess up their team ERA, which has been pretty good this year.
Yeah. So Palmeiro's struggles continue. That's out number 2, and that will bring up Cal Ripken. Ripken has struck out. He had a grand slam home run and grounded out. Missed 1-0. Got that fastball up there at 95.
I don't think anybody doubts that Reggie Harris has major league stuff. It's just a matter of control with him.
High again. 2 balls and no strikes.
He's talking to himself there. He said dumb.
Again. 3-0 to Ripken.
They threw him a first ball fastball miss and then 2 high sliders to go 3-0.
Might have a green light. Davy Johnson seems to be fairly free with the green lights.
Especially with a 5-run lead.
Yeah. Walked him on 4 pitches. That is 6 walks given up by Phillies pitching tonight. Here's B.J. Surhoff. He got 2 of them. He's walked twice and he is fouled out. When this happens, that puts your infielders back on their heels as well. The bases on balls. Base hit, left center field. This will play to Alomar. Ripken heading for 3rd, and it's now 7-1. Baltimore on the RBI hit by B.J. Surhoff.
Well, B.J. Surhoff sensing control problems by Harris, figuring he's going to try and get ahead of him with a first ball fastball, and he was sitting on it. Here's Surhoff, former #1 pick overall by the Milwaukee Brewers, and it was a high fastball and he hit it hard.
Wayne Gomes gets up in the Phillies bullpen. Jeffrey Hammonds has walked grounded out and struck out. The inside corner for a strike. One to Jeffrey Hammonds, 1st and 3rd, 2 down, a run in. Orioles leading 7-1. Foul tip. Ball and 2 strikes. Very high, 2-2. Reggie Harris in his first inning in relief of Calvin Maduro. Tomorrow night, Matt Beach goes for the Phillies. He'll be opposed by Scott Erickson. That was close. Full count to Jeffrey Hammonds. Back through the middle, base hit. Ripken scores. Surhoff will hold at third base. And it's now 8-1 Orioles. Hammonds drives in a run.
Well, he gets behind another batter, 3-2, and runs a fastball right into the middle of the plate. And Jeffrey Hammonds, they're playing him to pull ball up the middle for another base hit, but it's another instance of, having to come in with a pinch.
We get a pinch runner for Hammonds at first base.
Tony Tarasco.
Carrasco will come in to run for Jeffrey Hammonds. And Cisco, another visit to the mound. Lenny Webster will be the batter. Webster's grounded out, singled in a run, and grounded out. Two more across here for the Orioles in the seventh inning. They lead at 8-1. Surhoff at third. Tony Tarasco at first. Harris has thrown 28 pitches in this inning. 12 strikes, 16 balls. One strike to Lenny Webster. Two strikes to Lenny. Webster called out on strikes, and that will retire the side. The 2-run score for Baltimore. 3 hits, no errors, 2 men left. We go to the 8th. Orioles lead the Phils 8-1. After 8 innings of play, Baltimore 8, Phillies 1. After the game, got the most news in 30 minutes. Watch WB 17 News at 10, only on WB 17, home of the WB television network. Well, evidently, Mike Mussina had a change of heart. He did take that ball after the last inning, and as a souvenir for his 100th Major League win, but he must have decided he wants a complete game because he is back out there. We thought for sure Orozco was going to come in, but Mussina is out there here in the 9th inning. It's 2-0 to Roland.
Well, he sure acted like he wanted that ball for a reason, that he was going to come out of the game, and the way Orozco was throwing, it appeared that's what was going to happen.
2 balls and a strike. He's among the league leaders in complete games. He has 3 of them, so Kevin Apier has 4, and Pat Henkin of Toronto has 6. So maybe he wanted the CG. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Roland. In the dirt, a full count. glove of Mussina. Didn't get rolling, though. They would have gotten a few of them, I'll tell you that, but Rowland really legs out everything and got an infield single, but it was a fine try by Roberto Alomar.
Roberto Alomar is such an acrobat. Here comes Davy Johnson out to the mound right now, too, to talk to Mussina. Yeah,
I think he's going to take him out.
Here's the play, and Alomar is as good at this as anybody. Look how much he gets on this throw. And as Harry said, you're going to get a lot of guys, but Rowland really busted. Now, Davy Johnson might say, all right, enough's enough. You know, who cares about a CG? We got a long season ahead of us. You're almost gone anyway. He's laughing about it out there. He said, yeah, that's enough.
Yeah. So Mussina will leave here.
We'll save the ball for you.
It's a big round of applause as he leaves the game. Another great effort by Mike Mussina, who leaves with an 8-1 lead. Pitching change for the Orioles. We're in the 9th inning. 8-1 Baltimore. Back after these messages. On the Toyota Interleague scoreboard, the Cubs over Kansas City 8-7. Dave Clark hit a big pinch hit 3-run homer in the 8th inning to lead Chicago. Milwaukee and Cincinnati tied 3-3. They had a rain delay at Synergy Field once again. And Pittsburgh, with a payroll lower than one player on the Chicago White Sox, Albert Bell, beat them 3-1. Cleveland and Houston are tied 3-3, bottom of the 7th at the Astrodome. St. Louis 2-1 over Minnesota in the 8th, and told you about that slugfest at Colorado. They're only in the 3rd inning. It's 7-5. Colorado over Anaheim. Texas and Los Angeles just underway. Jesse Orozco, the ageless one, 2-0 with a 1.61 ERA. This is 32nd game. 22 in the 3rd innings, 13 hits, 4 runs. He has struck out 17. A lot of walks, 19 walks. Opponents are only hitting 173 against him.
First baseman,
Orozco, 40 years young. Broke in with the Mets, then went to Los Angeles briefly, Cleveland, Milwaukee. He spent the last 3 years at Baltimore. Facing Rico Bronia. 1 ball and no strikes. Jesse Orozco.
Who got a chance to do what every relief pitcher closer loves to do, and that's jump into his teammates' arms in celebration. He did it when the Mets beat the Houston Astros in the playoffs, and then he was out there for the last out of the World Series against the Red Sox the same year.
Two balls and a strike.
Well, he used to be murder on left-handed hitters too, because he would drop down, come from the side. He threw pretty hard too at one time.
Three and one. The one Philly he has trouble with is not active right now. Danny Tartabull, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs off Orozco.
Yeah, well, you would think right-handed hitters would have a lot better shot at it, because left-handed hitters have never had a whole lot of luck against Orozco because he's so tough with that sidearm delivery.
Jerks a foul right field side. Full count to Rico Bronia. Greg Jeffries will be next here in the 9th inning. Orioles on top 8-1. Struck him out. 10 strikeouts for Oriole pitching. Mussina struck out 9 when he was in there. And it brings up Greg Jeffries. He has struck out in a humpback line drive out and grounded into a fielder's choice. Ruben Amaro has moved into the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Derek May. On the inside corner.
Whatever the gun they're using has him at 90-91 on his fastball. That's not bad for a guy 40 years of age.
Bouncing ball, chopped to Bordick. He throws to Alomar. One relay not in time, but they got the lead runner. Bordick to Alomar for out number 2. Jeffries at first on a fielder's choice.
There's been a lot of controversy about Robbie Alomar because of what happened last year at the end of the season, but he is as acrobatic a second baseman as you ever see. Watch how athletic he is here. Flip, really not a double play, but look how much he gets on that throw as he sidesteps a slide of the runner, Roland, who was right on him. I mean, he got out of there and got a lot on the throw. He's the best. It's a shame what happened last year because it put a negative spin on a heck of a career.
And he will be the second baseman for the American League come a week from tomorrow at the All-Star game at Jacobs Field. Ruben Amaro hitting at 243. Amaro as a pinch hitter is 6 for 32 at a home run. He jerks a foul. He's batting .313 right-handed. Jeffries at first, 2 outs here in the 9th. Our Chevrolet player of the game tonight, Mike Mussina, as he looks on from the dugout. 9 strikeouts in 8 innings. He'll win his 10th game and his career 100th, the milestone for Mike Mussina. He is our Chevrolet player of the game. Gave up just the 1 run. Amaro stays alive with a foul ball. Still 0-2 to Ruben Amaro. Fastball is wide, 1-2. Jesse Orozco on here in the 9th for Mike Mussina. This was breaking ball, 2-2. Full count.
People are getting restless. They've been on their feet for a while, and Orozco keeps throwing tailing high fastballs away. Some of the fans who have spent a lot of time on their feet trying to get this one over with. A lot of folks still left here. It's hard to get tickets in this place. You want to hang around in the end, I guess.
Fly ball right field. Tarasco, a long run, but he's there, and that will end the ball game. For the Phils in the ninth, no runs, a hit, no errors, one left. Final score, 8-1 Baltimore. We'll be back with the totals and a recap in a moment.